Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of the Daily Bone Podcast, where we discuss all things crypto markets. That includes the majors like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, meme coins, and of course, NFTs. Today, we're going to discuss the macro effects of the Venezuelan conflict. We're going to talk about whether token buybacks are worth it, and we're going to look at how we are locking in as the crypto market shows sparks of life. GM, thank you all for listening on this wonderful Monday, first full week of the new year. We are excited to get back at it. If you're listening over on X, give us a like, bookmark, reply, retweet, push us out there in the algorithm. If you are listening over on YouTube, drop a comment. Let us know what you're trading today. What's up? What's down? There are too many tokens for us to look at alone as the markets are pumping all over the place. And if you're listening over on Zora, where we stream each and every day, drop us a line. What are you trading on Zora? Are you in the Nick Shirley token? What are you looking at coming up on Zora? I'm joined here today by Easy. Easy, how was your weekend?
It was good, Ray. How was yours?
It was great. I see you're diving into vibe coding.
Yeah, I got into it before, if you remember, and then kind of just stopped because I was like, there's a lot of issues, but now I'm just like, I was up too late last night. How can I make this make my life easier?
I think that's what most people aren't realizing is if you're doing a job where you're mainly using a computer all day, you can vibe code.
I just leave it up while I do other shit.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need to stare at it all day. And if it breaks, cool. Like, I know enough about coding. People forget, like, I have a software development degree. I'm not good at writing code. But it's helped me a lot with vibe coding because I understand frameworks and, like, how-tos, which is, like, what most of it is. So, like, if you start asking it good prompts, it can start, like, doing shit for you. So I'm like, okay. And the thing is, like, I use multiple AIs. Yeah, I posted this. I was like, I responded to Frisk. So this response was actually a reply. And I woke up this morning and it had like 150 bookmarks. So I was like, fuck it, I'll just post it. Like, scroll down and click that reply to Frisk.
Yeah, I saw this.
I was late last night. Yeah. Scroll up to his question. Who is the best guide on where to start learning how to vibe code? Which is like a great question. It's like, okay, cool. There isn't like an out of the box guide, and I'm not about to become an AI vibe code creator. Like, that sounds fucking awful. Because all you're gonna get is a bunch of questions from other people about it, how their shit broke. And I'm like, I don't want to do that. Like, I'm not even really interested in like creating apps for other people. Like, is that bad? Like, I'm working on a Polymarket app, but it's purely for me. Like, it's stuff I wish I had. And like, the APIs are public and other data sources are accessible. Then I'm like, I just wish someone had made this. So I'm just gonna go make it.
We're gonna have to talk after the show. I started working on vibe coding Polymarket APIs on Saturday.
Yeah, dude, they're all public. So it's like wicked easy to use.
So I'm basically just trying to I basically was exploring the framework and the APIs on Saturday. And now it's a matter of like figuring out what I want to look for now that I know what I can get. So pretty cool stuff there. Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, even just talking to like a non-coding AI, like what you do here with ChatGPT and Gemini, going back and forth ahead of time, even just asking like, hey, how do I start coding? Like, what do I need to know?
Bro, that's what so many people overthink. It's like, it's not. Some people say go talk to Claude. I say don't start with Claude because there is a max number of credits. So like, for those that are unaware, you only get so many messages with Claude a day, depending on your plan. So like, save those for the actual code. That thing is better at writing code than it is talking. Go talk to Gemini or ChatGPT, which have free versions or cost like $5 a month, and you can just yap to about anything. They're good enough to get you somewhere that then your code can go be built. Like, I use both. I'm a weirdo. I don't really have a great explanation. Yeah, I use Cursor, but I need to check out Claude Code. Cursor's good too. They both have Opus. So I've used both. I've built apps with both. Claude just shits on Cursor right now, man. And it's nothing personal, but it's just like Claude Code is so good. And you can use Claude in Cursor. So like, that's one thing that other people forget about. But yeah, is Grok good for anything? Grok's really good at Twitter data. Like, really good at Twitter data. It can source stuff, it can find stuff. It's really good at social media parsing and social media data. So like, I use Grok for like some trend analysis sometimes, just because I'm interested to be like, is this moving faster, slower? How's this moving? Are more people tweeting about it? Just because it's there.
Yeah, I use a combination of everything. I think I lean on ChatGPT for anything non-code, and then I'll use Cursor with Claude for my code. I just like the IDE, being able to see my files and everything. And if you're somebody who's not necessarily going to do any of the coding yourself and you're just completely vibe coding, using something like Claude will probably,
where it doesn't show you the updates.
Yeah, it'll probably.
I use VS Code with Claude, and I wish it showed me the updates. I probably can. I'm just an idiot.
Yeah, you should be able to use Cursor with Claude and be able to get those.
You
can. So that's how I go about it. We've had an extremely busy 48 hours outside of doing little vibe coding side projects in terms of macro and crypto. Easy. I'm going to send the weather report over in the private chat. If you want to pull it up, run through this, I'll get a little music queued up and we can dive into the show and get to all the juicy info that's affecting the crypto market.
Cool. Let's get into it, Jay. Today is Monday, January 5th, and looking over at the crypto roundup, the majors rallied over the weekend with Bitcoin over 92K, Ethereum at 3,100, Solana up and over 133, Hype back at 26, ahead of 320 milli vanilla tokens unlocking tomorrow. Over the past weekend, the U.S. invaded Venezuela and captured President Nicolas Maduro. Trump stated that the U.S. will retain control of the nation until a peaceful transfer of power is completed. Venezuela is rich in strategic assets, including the world's largest supply of crude oil, in addition to rare earth metals. Oil futures fell 2% over the weekend as other assets largely remain stable. They obviously fell because now there's a lot more. Next up, Infinex launched their INX public sale over the weekend, looking to raise $5 million at a 100 mil FDV, but the tokens will be locked for 1 year at this price. Participants can pay more to unlock them early. Infinex made some adjustments to the sale this morning, removing the $2,500 investment cap and switching to a bottom-up fill mechanic. The prediction market charts have reflected positively on this, and we have started to see Infinex total sale commitments move, with over 3 mil up 57%, over 5 mil up 65%, over 7 mil up 55%, after these were just a 40% chance, 30% chance last night on Infinex. And finally, Helium's team suspends HNT buybacks, leading to a larger discussion about token buybacks across Twitter. Jupiter is also considering suspending their token buybacks after the previous 50 million buybacks did not lead to positive price action. Seems that nobody gives a shit. Too bad. Back to you in the studio, Ray.
Excellent weather report, as always. Easy. Buybacks, a big thing here. I just want to quickly just run through this take since
I'm so pissed I missed that fucking Infinex prediction market because I was staring at it yesterday and I was like, this feels like it's going to move. Like someone's going to do something to change this because they know that they're wrong.
I have it. I have these things. I was looking at them this morning in the call sheet. I'm showing up on screen right now. I was looking at all these this morning and I was like, I imagine these seem a little low, but we'll talk about it in the show. And they came out and made that adjustment to their sale this morning, like 10 minutes ago or 15 minutes ago. Infinex came out and made the adjustment to their sale.
Of course.
Yeah. So these have all rocketed up. They're going to see more than 5 million. 5 million is what they're trying to raise. I think that's the cap on the sale. So that's now at 74% and rising. You can look at the big spike here as the news broke this morning from 14% all the way up to 74%. I mean, the biggest change was the removal of the cap, I think, in terms of like getting this total commitment line across the table, because a $2,500 commitment, you're going to have a ton of participants to fill up a $5 million raise. So I think that's the biggest thing. I think that doing a bottom-up fill feels more fair than a random fill, which is what they were doing initially. So everyone kind of isn't participating in a lottery as much as they are like getting the tokens they lock up. I was looking at this for a good amount of time this morning, trying to understand this sale, because the overwhelming majority of my feed is very bearish Infinex. I am seeing some very smart people who have already invested and are continuing to talk about it. Like, Ignis DeFi, he's a very good airdrop farmer, early token trader. He posted this morning why he was buying the token. These highly FUDed tokens potentially offer like opportunity, in my
opinion. I was literally talking with Nick, Choose Rich Nick, about this yesterday. Because he was like, what news articles are there? I was like, well, Infinex has this $2,500 cap. And I was like, dude, I feel like it's worth just throwing $2,500 at. Like, what's the worst that happens? It's not going to go to zero.
I moved 1K into my Infinex wallet that I've been using for probably almost a year now, to kind of judge if I'm going to participate or not. Just to have it ready as the token sale closes, because this doesn't close until January 10th. So 5 days, a little under 5 days left. And
I still think it'd be profitable to just throw 2,500 at.
Yeah. Right now we can also look at some of these other markets. FDV on Polymarket. Pull this one up. So the way their tokenomics work with you're buying at a 100 mil FDV, but the issue is that they're locked for a year. You can pay extra to unlock early. So essentially you can pay, like, as time goes on, you pay less and less to unlock. You can unlock immediately at a 300 mil FDV. So right now we're looking at 300 mil, being at 42%. So instant unlock is not profitable, not EV positive at this current valuation.
Interesting.
So Polymarket says, hey, if you're going to buy this to instantly unlock and sell it, hey, that might not work. A couple of things to factor into my decision here. This unlock is probably going to take place in the next couple months. I believe the market for that is like 90% by the end of March in terms of launch date. I feel like things are trending upwards for crypto right now, short term, but I think that as we approach this March 31st date, I think we're going to be in an overall better place if I ever have to bet where we're going to be in crypto as we're approaching the end of Powell's term, more rate cuts on the horizon, and kind of like looking forward to a bullish Q1, Q2 for crypto. So we're not launching like in the depths of the bear. At $100 million valuation, you could make the case that you just hold it out. And if crypto is going to continue to rip this year, then it's going to be looking like a good investment a year from now, next January. That's like another potential option. One thing to keep in mind, though, is they've sold 43% of their token supply via their patron sale. And this sale took place last August, I believe. Tokens distributed in October on a 12-month. Some are instant unlock at TGE. Some are 12-month linear unlock, 12-month cliff, and some are a 24-month cliff linear unlock, depending on what price they were bought at. So there's going to be some sell pressure from this 43% sale at launch, and also some sell pressure in October ahead of a full year unlock for these tokens. So some things to like do math on it and do give some thought to in terms of this sale specifically. But in the end, as long as this like continues to look kind of bullish and the timeline continues to be bearish on it, I'm going to be probably putting in like $1,000 to this at the end of this week. I've used the product. It's a good product. Have you used Infinex?
I used Synthetics, which is their perp.
Yeah. I mean, the Infinex wallet is like a good product. Like it allows you to it does a very good job on swap rates. I actually was using it yesterday. It aggregates. I think it actually aggregates more than like what Project X is doing, because I was getting some better rates on Infinex than Project X over the weekend. So I was surprised to see that. I think it even indexes Project X for its cross-chain swap. So check it out. It's a good product either way. I think you earn like their like airdrop token from using it still, but use it. I mean, I just don't just buy this blindly. I suggest you just use the product and like get a handle on how it feels first, because I think it does have a place in crypto, and I think what they're building is interesting, to say the least. It's like a sex-like experience with your own custody. So pretty cool. And then like you said, he was using Synthetics, which is their perp platform as well, which was getting some traction, and they're showing that they're going to be using some marketing budget to kind of push their products. We got a little bit down the rabbit hole here into some of this Infinex stuff. We briefly talked about token buybacks. The headline, though, U.S. invading Venezuela, capturing President Nicolas Maduro. Some of the videos out of that were crazy. Pretty wild time to be alive that this just happens and people can just do this, and it's not sparking a world war yet. I'm not an expert on global.
I'm a geopolitical expert, Ray.
Yeah, I'm not a geopolitical expert. I don't know what's going to happen here. I do know that we are currently, quote unquote, in control. I don't even know what that means. Like, we can't just send $30 billion or $30 trillion worth of oil to ourselves. So, like, what that means for the oil supply, what that means for the U.S., et cetera, I don't know. So it's kind of like a wait and see for me. I'm looking at what much smarter people are saying about it. The markets have been trading like fairly flat since open yesterday, outside of like oil, which is like down like slightly 2%.
It's because oil's gonna get cheaper.
Yeah, it's a good thing. Crypto rallied over the weekend. Equities rallied over the weekend. A little bit. This morning we're looking at what, a little under 1% on NASDAQ here. Pre-market, I'm really interested to see what's going to happen on open during the show. So that's going to be a big tell.
It's gonna nuke per usual.
You think so?
Yeah.
I had some like ideas on trades related to this. The obvious one, Palantir, being more of like a wartime stock, up pre-market almost 4%. This one I was looking at. We also talked about Andorra on the show before, which I think is available to trade on pre-stocks. We looked at. So I've never used pre-stocks before. Have you?
I have. It's cool. I've used that in early bird.
So this is trading pre-market. Kix really likes Andorra as like a military like categorized investment here. Implied value 77 bill. AI driven defense systems, including autonomous drones, perimeter sensors. So military and border security applications. So this one's pre IPO. It's got a 77 billion implied valuation right now based on its token price on chain. I don't know.
They also based that token price on chain on raises, like what they've raised at.
Interesting.
So like when
this is the valuation right here.
Yeah, right, market valuation.
So it's trading slightly above market valuation.
Yeah, if there's like positive catalysts and other things, but they pegged that market valuation to like recent raise. So it's like I look at something like excuse me, Polymarket, Kalshi, etc., which have raised at like 19, 12 bill, etc. recently, and you'll see their charts are like up and to the right because they have a recent raise announcement, which helps dictate where that price action's going.
Interesting. IPO before 2027. %50 chance they IPO this year for Andorra. So those are a couple options I'm looking at.
I would not trade that market personally.
So not trading Andorra. Would you consider trading Palantir? I think Palantir you can trade right on Hyperliquid right now.
Yeah, you could also just buy the stock.
Yeah, but you can't do that with leverage. Obviously,
you can use margin, which is basically the same thing.
Yeah, 10x. You can get 10x on Palantir on Hyperliquid right now. It's trading at 176, basically trading in step with the pre-market equity price right now, which makes perfect sense. Have you traded any of these equities on Hyperliquid yet?
No, I have not.
I haven't either. I'm curious to see what the liquidity looks like on some of these. A decent amount of liquidity within 1% of the current price here. Like over $5 million of liquidity all the way down to $170. So interesting way to
pretty
trade.
solid. Like the fact that you can go and like get access to that, especially as like international and other stuff, to get access to those markets is like really interesting to me.
Yeah, you can buy $1 million worth of Palantir anytime you want.
Yeah,
at a slight premium, you know.
Yeah,
It's just pretty cool. And one of the use cases for Hyperliquid going forward, though I don't know this is like necessarily a moat that they have, but right now they're probably the best place to be trading these pre-market. That leads me to Hyperliquid Price. We have $320 million worth of.
Yeah, I wouldn't buy that shit.
Yeah, so 320 million. We're at $26. Hyperliquid hasn't rallied as much as the other majors out of this like small relief rally we've had over the weekend, maybe because of this unlock. One thing that concerns me is like unlocks versus buybacks, and
the only buyback we should be focused on is Texit coin.
Oh man, I want to look at the I want to show you the Jupiter chart overlaid with their buybacks. So this one is gnarly. $5 billion when the cliff for team and early investor lockups vested, and this thing's been down only all the way down to $1 billion now. So down 70 or 80, down 80% from when unlocks started. The buy pressure of unlocks or the buy pressure of buybacks can't compete with the sell pressure of unlocks if you're not growing the product, in my opinion. And we saw, I mean, look at this. This is where we saw the peak, like right before unlocks on Hyperliquid. Local top in October, $48. Already down 50%. If you go down 80% from these levels, you're hitting that like 10 mil level on Hyperliquid. So my question to you would be Hyperliquid 2026. Do we hit 10 mil or sorry, 10 get $10 first or a new all-time high at $60?
New all-time high before 10.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay.
I do.
Interesting. All right. So we talked about Infinex. We talked about Hyperliquid. We saw meme coins outperforming over the weekend. Some of the best performing assets over the weekend have been meme coins. Looking at the 7-day leaders of top 100 coins, Pepe number 1, 65% to a $2.8 billion market cap. Virtuals up to a $700 million market cap, up 56%. Bonk up 51%, back over $1 billion. Seeing Pudgy rally 36%. Pump Fun is up 30% off the lows. SPX, even Mirage getting in on the action, up 26% over the 7-day. Meme coins right now, is this a little overbought, or would you consider jumping into meme coins as a way to kind of like leverage trade, a move up overall in crypto right now? Like, are you interested in any of these major memes?
Not really.
No. Let's pull up the I'm gonna pull up the Bonk chart. Bonk has seemed especially interesting to me with their like heavy integration with World Liberty Financial. With their launchpad, basically offering USD1 pairs, the World Liberty Financial stablecoin, and they saw a pretty big shift in activity. Tyler D reported on it on X, basically looking at Let's Bonk and graduations, daily graduates, really putting a dent in the market share of Pump Fun. So like this kind of has caught my eye. Daily active addresses as well, and revenue. So this caught my eye in terms of Bonk potentially retaking back some market share. And if you look at like revenue here, like it didn't just eat it, the whole pie grew. Like I think Pump Fun's revenue stayed constant. It's not like Bonk ate into it. It just added additional meme coin revenue into the ecosystem. So like this is a very interesting chart for like meme coin health overall, is just revenue. And when you see Pump Fun and Bonk both increasing at the same time, it tells me like, hey, like it's time to start paying attention to meme coins. Like we've seen a couple runners now in like White Whale, some other derivatives. We saw a bunch of runs over the weekend with meme coins related to the Venezuela situation. We saw Nick Shirley over on Zora. So I think there's a little bit of appetite and interest in meme coins right now that is worth paying attention to. And I think a bet on that is like pump token, bonk token. You might be able to like kind of take a little basket there and then like figure out like how far down the risk curve you want to go beyond that. But that's one area I'm really looking into right now, is the meme coin side of things, because they can have these outsized gains in shorter periods of times as the majors move up overall.
I agree. Do you really think the Nick Shirley thing is going to be like interesting though?
I don't know. I think there's things that they can do at Base and Coinbase to move and push the ecosystem. I don't think they've really like done anything yet. Like they haven't. I don't think they've deployed capital and resources necessary to kind of move these, and I don't think it's entirely a mistake yet.
Yeah,
I think that this platform needs more time to mature. I mean, they're building up big creators on the app over time. There's not a lot of options right now in terms of like these larger creators that have held steady. It's like Jesse Pollock, Gary Tan, Nick Shirley, and Balaji. Jacob's the co-founder, but like after these 5, it's really like a toss-up over who you're going to invest in. And it's like you say 99.9% of coins go to zero. This is like 99.999999% of these coins are probably going to go to zero over time. So this is like super down the risk curve, I think, after these top 5. I think I just need more big names on the platform. And once they do, then it's time to spend time and energy on really pushing the ecosystem. I don't know if you can just do a cold start and get people really interested in the platform.
I mean, dude, look at that run up on Nick Shirley and that fall off. Like that's fucking crazy.
Yeah, 100% agree. The one thing that I think they could have done is like done a little bit of crime, but I don't know if they're going to do that at Coinbase. It just seems too risky.
I don't think they will.
Yeah.
Why would they?
This number is what I think is super important for all these new launches, is the creator earnings. If you're looking at Zora Health, I think that if this number gets very big for some of these people, you're going to have more creators being like, oh, what is this? Like, how do I leverage this? And then if they do get a little bit deeper, they say, okay, so like volatility gives me money. Like coming onto this app and posting gets me money. Like I can find ways to play the Zora game, but this number needs to be big enough and needs to be catching eyes and be reported on enough that it's going to draw that crowd in. And I don't think we have like the critical mass right now to do so. So that's kind of like my take on it. Looking at earnings, looking at how much money these people are making on the platform. Because Nick Shirley, well, $131 is probably $131,000 is probably a lot to a lot of people. This is like, when you frame it, it's like one of the most mega viral Twitter stories of not only this year, but probably like a couple years. So most people are going to like look at this and say like, hey, like I probably have zero chance of earning even a fraction of this. So these numbers need to be bigger eventually. And I think they will be.
Oh yeah.
That's my take right now. I do think the Nick Shirley coin is interesting. I was looking at buying it before the run up. I was like, because I saw Brian Armstrong was like talking to Thread Guy about ideas. And I was like, I wonder what they're going to like cook up. And this is before Ansem posted about it. And I was like, I'm not going to buy it yet. And then, of course, later that day, it does a quick 3x on, no, even more. It did like a 7x from where it was when Ansem tweeted. It's good to see Ansem having a motion on these meme coin creator coins too, which is interesting for sure. Yeah, so I don't know much else to add here on Zora. We do have some other stories today. Go through a couple of these quickly, and then we'll settle on one to kind of dive deeper into. Strategy added $115 million worth of Bitcoin today, but
couldn't care less.
They did add $2.5 billion to their US dollar reserve. Yeah, just wanted to highlight there. Smaller Bitcoin buy, bigger buy to their USD reserve, which is backing their yield on their different financial products. We saw NFTs in the green for the first time in a while. Number of top NFT collections are green on the day. ETH's rebounding as well, so that's helping prices in terms of USD. I want to bring up OpenSea on the overall chart. Punks are back almost to 100K again. They're up to $92,000, up a bit on the day. Apes are up 15%. Moonbirds are up 12%. We talked about Winds of Yawanawa on the show. That's up 27% on the day. So we're seeing the signs of life in NFTs, a little bit of a bounce back. Do you think this rally continues for NFTs, or do you think this is just like a little bit of a dead cat?
I think it's a little bit of a dead cat. I think we're seeing the whole rest of the market kind of move. So now we're also seeing some level of that move as well, just like tertiary move, you know?
People saying, hey, risk on assets are moving. I want to get back into NFTs.
Yeah, why would I not?
Now it's time to rebuy my NFTs, because I don't know if anyone net new is coming in and being like, now is the time to buy NFTs. I think this is existing holders who may have sold and are now looking for an entry back lower.
Yeah. Yep. I do agree.
That's how I'm kind of framing this one. There is an interesting, I haven't looked at heavy metal, but if you are holding heavy metal, just want to make it clear, or just make it make you aware that there is some sort of migration happening with the deadline of today. Adam Weitzman took over this collection, and he tweeted over the weekend, deadline for activating your heavy metals is today. So if you're holding these, check your wallet, heavymetal.com, hv-mpl.com. This is the first window closing. The second window doesn't have a date yet. So better to migrate now, I think, for any type of like benefit you would get, as opposed to having these stuck in the current state and not potentially getting utility on these. Floor 0.04 right now. If you remember, this is a collection that was owned by Yuga Labs, I believe, sold to Faraway, and then repurchased by Adam Weitzman after some time. And he's one of the bigger, if not the biggest, NFT PFP collector, I think, in the space. So some news there on the heavy metal side. Good to see NFTs getting a little bit of a boost. Good to see meme coins getting a little bit of a boost. Makes me feel more bullish about a potential OpenSea airdrop coming up, as they're basically heavy in those two sides of the market. Moving on, we do have market open now, so I'm really curious to see what's going on the macro side and how it's bouncing on market open. Let's pull up the Bitcoin chart. Bitcoin is up since markets opened. Let's bring up the 1 minute here. Looking good on the Bitcoin side of things since market open. Let's open up the QQQ. Gapped up on the morning, 613 up to 6.
Look at that sell off.
Selling off pretty hard since then, 619 to 617. Still up overall in the day. We're going to see some volatility in gaps this week, I imagine, with the uncertainty regarding the Venezuela situation. Take a peek over at gold. Gold trading strong, up on the day, up 2%, $4,400. Silver has been on a massive run. I think it hit another all-time high, or not didn't all-time, but it got back above 75 over the weekend. That's holding steady. Oil at market open right now, holding steady, still down 2% on the day. Okay, so things aren't really moving too much, despite big shifts in the geopolitical landscape. I can't imagine this just as business as usual this week. I'm sure we're going to see some sort of volatility, but nothing yet at market open on Monday, which is super interesting.
It's an early day. First real week we got for the market too. Because last week, holidays, right?
Yep.
So finally the first real Monday that we got for the market to actually make a move here. I'd be cautiously optimistic. That's my take.
It's good that it's not dumping.
Yeah.
One more piece of news I want to tap into here. Today marks the first day that Bank of America is going to instruct its wealth advisors to recommend clients invest up to 4% of their portfolio in Bitcoin and crypto. So that's pretty cool. Maybe some more buying pressure coming to crypto from new market participants. Love to see this. I believe the ETFs had a pretty big day last Friday, one of the record days for BlackRock, I think highest since mid-November. So institutions continue to buy, setting a bit of a floor on Bitcoin. We've been talking about like a few month bear period followed by some sort of run up, and we're approaching this band that we've been tapping in and out of. It's been like a pretty obvious short almost every time we've gotten to 94K. Are you with all the new information now? You got Venezuela, New Year, market turbulence. Like, do you see us breaking out of this range, or you think it's just, hey, like let's follow the pattern? We're gonna stay within this band. We're gonna short 94K again.
I mean, what was that saying? Over 92K?
I think you're saying 93K. We break and hold 93.
That stands. Like, let's see it hold. I don't want to overcomplicate it.
Yeah.
I think we got to see continued upward momentum there. I mean, we're seeing good strength on alts finally.
That's one thing that's been different with this last run up of Bitcoin. Every one of these other run ups, alts weren't outpacing or up as much as Bitcoin in these other attempts to run up here. This one feels different in that alts are actually moving ahead of this. So is this going to cause Bitcoin to break? Is this like a sign of like a divergence in trend where people are now more confident and it's buying up? Or is it just, hey, it's a new year. People ditched their alts for tax loss harvesting and now they're buying back into them in the new year? Like, I don't know. There's a lot of different things in motion in the market right now. A commenter, Corn Kid in YouTube saying, hey, XRP is pumping. Take a look over XRP. Nope, that's not it. I think Clemente posted about
XRP is the one true cult.
Yeah, he sounded like Murad over on the timeline. XRP on the daily, I mean, printing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 straight green candles. XRP on the week gained 12% last week, up another 3% this week. Zooming out, I mean, still room to get to all-time highs again. I kind of don't mind XRP as like another bet on the majors right now. Really don't. If people hear crypto back and they're like, what can I buy? I think XRP is going to be like the retail token to buy.
I'm good on XRP.
My aunts were visiting and like they like didn't really know what I did. Like everyone in my family is like, what do you do? And I was like telling them, I was like, oh yeah, I work for a crypto media company. I host a podcast, blah, blah. And they're like, you host a podcast? Like they pull up the podcast. Like, all right, what can you recommend me for crypto? I had my son's friend recommended this token to me. Like, is it a good buy or not? Can I ask you? I was like, is the token XRP? They're like, yeah, how'd you know? It's like, well, that's what everyone and their mom wants to buy in terms of retail.
That's all they know. XRP, Cardano. What else? Tell them to buy Hyperliquid. What?
You mentioned Texit Coin earlier. Was there a reason?
Shout out Texit Coin.
Was there a reason for that? Like, did you see anything?
They liked one of my old tweets.
They did?
Yeah.
What is Texit Coin doing nowadays?
I have no idea. Damn, down bad.
What was it at?
That's dude like $4.
Oh man, $6. I feel like we talked about it at this peak. This is probably when we talked about it on the
show. What'd you say?
This is probably when we talked about it first on the show. Is at this peak. Like you had just gotten out. Like this was your like.
I had just gone to that thing. It had just peaked. I was like, damn, this is the coin, man. This is the one.
Oh man. It's like Bitcoin, but for Texas. This is an oldie but goodie. I gotta go look at that episode and pull some clips. Maybe put them over on Zora. That was a funny episode.
That was a banger.
Chart looks like Clemente hit the gritty. Love the comment coming from Blate over there in YouTube. All right, let's jump over to prediction markets. We talked about a number of these earlier on the show. We talked about mainly Infinex. Anything else you're looking at here in terms of trades on prediction markets? Any alpha you have for us?
I don't know. I actually took and got out of something this morning already, I think. Let me check. I've been making a little bit quicker trades. I took that Khamenei out as supreme leader of Iran by June 30th. I'm on that.
By June 30th?
Uh-huh. And then yesterday I bought Maduro's mugshot released by Monday. I took the no. Yeah, I took the no on that. I got in at 75 and sold it today at like 87. We're just slow stacking right now.
What's the thought on this now?
He shows up in trial in court today at 12. His mugshot's already there, but I just don't see them releasing it. Like, what's the value add? I know Trump wants to gloat, but I don't think there's like a major reason for this.
I don't know. I mean,
like, there's enough pictures of him out there. You know, if they wanted to release the mugshot, they would have released it.
Yeah, like maybe the entering court is the picture that gets
posted.
Interesting. 34% by January 9th. I like the yes on 34% by the 9th. That's the end of the week.
You like the yes at the end of the week?
I like that kind of.
I like the no.
Kind of like that. We'll see. I could see just Trump just going any kind of backlash or any like even just like feeling a certain way posting.
He's already got these people gloating over these like sick pictures of like Delta Force getting him. You know?
Yeah. Are those better pictures than the mugshot itself? I feel like I need to see the mugshot. Are there leaked photos of it?
There was like two more, one yesterday and one earlier yesterday, one later yesterday too.
They're actual mugshots or leaks?
Or not like, mugshots, just regular pictures.
Interesting. This picture is so good. This one's getting memed all over.
It's an incredible picture. Incredible.
Really good picture. Do you trade any of the Maduro meme coins?
No. I
didn't either. There were a number of them though. Are they still doing well is the question. I'm gonna pop over deck screen and take a peek. I think one was called like Maduro memes or something. 1 mil. More pictures of Maduro. More funny things that happened to Maduro in terms of trial, etc. Could be interesting.
Maduro meme. This is a good one though, because it's gonna stick around for a little bit longer. I like to think.
Yeah, I mean, it's high risk. This is a $1 million meme coin. I'm not in this. I am now looking at getting into this. Peaked at 1.75. Once retraced down to 500. Peaked again at 1.8. Retraced down to 690. Last local high 1.5 down to 1 mil. So Maduro's in court today. More photos, I'm assuming, are going to come out. He's going to be visible somewhere, and there's going to be pictures coming out. So this is an interesting high-risk bet if you're clicking buttons today, for sure. I know the Badalga's Discord has been talking about this one, trading in and out of it. Tio Chade says he's in at 1.2 in the YouTube comments. Yes, this is one I'll be watching. See how this one performs. So you talked about Maduro in terms of mugshot released. We talked about Iran. What was the thesis between about Iran's the Khamenei? I don't know how to pronounce his name. Sorry. Out as supreme leader. And Kix posted about this, right?
Yeah, he was posting about it, saying that he feels that since we're seeing some military movements in the Middle East and U.S. ships trying to go dark over there, that he thinks we're going to get a strike soon or some level of action. Which I think that you're just playing the odds. Like, I liked it. I'm probably going to cut it here just because I don't feel like holding these shares for that long. Like, I just don't care about them, if that makes sense. I'm like, this isn't that interesting to me to hold. So I'd rather, like, make the sell and find other positions.
Yeah. And if this seems like something that's interesting to you, I would follow Kix on X with notifications right now because he's been posting live updates.
Yeah, like actual live updates. This is wicked funny.
Yeah.
He's really into it for right now.
Yeah, he's on his war arc right now, which is super interested. He gives a big thesis for the Iran Polymarket. I'm going to find it because he talks about a couple others as well. Where is it? Yeah, I don't know. I got to find it though. We'll see. So any other prediction markets you're on before we wrap?
No, I think that's it.
Awesome. Well, we had a jam-packed episode today. Thank you all for joining us on this beautiful Monday, first full week of the new year. Lots of information to unpack today. We covered a ton of it. We do this podcast Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern time. You can catch us on all major podcasting platforms. Catch us on Spotify, catch us on Apple, and also watch us back on Zora and YouTube, where we stream each and every day. Thank you again for listening.